Reddit love drama. Imagine building a life with someone. You plan the future, you share secrets, you sleep next to them every night thinking, this is home. Now imagine waking up one day and realizing that the very person you trusted the most has betrayed you in the most unimaginable way. And not just with a stranger, not with some random coworker, but with your own brother, your flesh and blood. Today's story is not just about infidelity. It's about betrayal so personal, so deeply cutting, that it shakes the very foundation of what we think family should mean. This isn't a love triangle. This is a love implosion. He was a loyal husband, doing his best to support his wife, his family, and even his older brother, someone he had looked up to his entire life. Their bond wasn't just brotherhood. It was brotherhood, forged through struggle, through childhood memories, and years of shared trust. But beneath the surface, something darker was growing. Late-night visits turned into long stares. Innocent conversations turned into emotional confessions. And soon enough, stolen touches. And before he even realized it, his wife, the woman he thought would grow old with him, was falling into the arms of the man who had once held him as a baby. And here's the part that truly stings. They thought they were being discreet. But when you live under one roof, or even share too many family gatherings, no secret stays hidden forever. The betrayal didn't come with a loud bang. It was quiet, silent. It came through whispers, through subtle absences, through a kiss that meant nothing to them, but would destroy him forever. This isn't just a story, it's a real emotional wreckage, and it sparked one of the most intense debates on Reddit. Some people say she was lonely. It's not black and white. Others? They call it what it is, a backstabbing disaster. So what do you think? Was this inevitable? Was it a cry for emotional connection gone wrong? Or was it simply unforgivable? Stay with me as we peel back the layers of this jaw-dropping story, piece by piece, and uncover the truth that shattered a marriage and a family. My name is Daniel. I've been married to my wife, Ellie, for 5 years, together for 7. We met in college, the classic boy meets girl at the campus library kind of thing. She was studying literature, always had her nose buried in some old novel. I was majoring in engineering, all numbers and logic. We were different, but we clicked. It wasn't some whirlwind romance. It was slow, honest. We grew into love, not the kind that sweeps you off your feet, but the kind that makes you feel safe, stable. I thought that was a good thing. I work long hours. I always have. I thought I was doing it for us, for the house we wanted, the kids we planned, the trips we never took. But I didn't realize I was slowly becoming a background character in my own marriage. Then enters my brother, Caleb. Caleb is the golden child of the family. Charismatic, charming, a natural-born storyteller. He's always had this way of drawing people in. And Ellie was no exception. At first, it didn't bother me. I was actually glad they got along. Caleb would come over for dinners, help fix things around the house, even talk to Ellie while I was working late. It felt convenient, until it wasn't. I started noticing the changes. Little things. Ellie laughed harder at Caleb's jokes than she ever did at mine. She started dressing up more when he was around. One night, I came home to find them sitting on the couch, too close, laughing at something on her phone. When they saw me, the laughter stopped like a needle ripping off a vinyl record. I asked her about it. She said I was being paranoid, that Caleb was family. You're imagining things, Dan. But I wasn't. The final blow came 3 weeks later. I was supposed to be out of town for work. Flight got canceled last minute, so I came home early. Didn't even text her. Just wanted to surprise her. I walked through the front door and heard music playing softly upstairs. I thought, maybe she's taking a bath. But as I got closer, I heard voices. Two of them. Her voice and Caleb's. I froze. I wanted to believe they were just talking. Maybe he came over to check in. Maybe this was still innocent. But I heard the way she said his name. I heard her laugh. That same over-the-top laugh she used to give me when we first met. I didn't open the door. I didn't need to. I left the house, sat in my car for an hour, staring into nothing. My heart didn't race. It collapsed. Slowly. Quietly. Later that night, I confronted her. She didn't even try to deny it. She cried. She said she didn't mean for it to happen. That Caleb was just there when I wasn't. That she was lonely. That she missed feeling desired. I asked her one question. Would it still be happening if I hadn't come home early? She didn't answer. I haven't spoken to Caleb since. My own brother. The man who shared bunk beds with me when we were kids. The guy I helped move across states when he lost his job. He betrayed me in the one way I never saw coming. Ellie moved out 2 weeks later. No goodbye. No apology worth hearing. Now I sit in an empty house, trying to understand how love can rot from the inside without you even noticing. Was I blind? Was I absent? Or was she always just waiting for a reason to run? Let's take a moment to really break this down. What happened here wasn't just a love story gone wrong. It was a betrayal of the deepest kind. Not just by a partner, but by blood. By someone you trust without question. Daniel didn't lose just a wife. He lost his brother, his teammate in childhood, his closest family. That kind of betrayal isn't just painful. It rewrites everything you thought you knew about loyalty, love, and boundaries. Now, let's talk about Ellie. Some might say she was lonely. Some might argue emotional neglect pushed her into someone else's arms. But, let's be honest, there's a massive difference between being emotionally distant and choosing to betray your partner with his own brother. If you feel neglected in a relationship, you talk, you ask, you cry, you scream. You don't fall into the arms of someone else, especially not the man your husband trusted most. It's not just betrayal. It's a decision, over and over again. Every text, every touch, every laugh behind closed doors, those were conscious choices. And Caleb? There are no excuses. It doesn't matter how magnetic he is, how charming, how close he and Ellie became. When you cross that line with your brother's wife, you destroy something sacred. You shatter the kind of bond that's supposed to outlast even romantic love, the bond of family. And here's the saddest part. Daniel never even got angry. He didn't scream. He didn't throw things. He didn't create a scene. He just collapsed in silence. That says something about how deep his hurt went. When pain runs that deep, it's quiet. It's numb. It turns your whole world gray. Some people will say he should have seen the signs. But hindsight is a cruel companion. When you're working hard, building a life, trying to trust, the last thing on your mind is your wife laughing in the arms of your brother. The question is, can you ever come back from something like this? Can you ever rebuild trust, not with others, but with yourself? Because the real damage here is the self-doubt, the paranoia, the echo that whispers, "What if I'm not enough?" Daniel's story is more than just drama. It's a raw reminder that betrayal doesn't always come with warning signs. Sometimes it comes from the people you love most, in the moments you least expect. And now, It's time for the moment we all secretly wait for. The comment section. Because Reddit? Oh, they don't hold back. Some came in swinging, some tried to empathize, and a few dropped wisdom like seasoned therapists. Let's dive into the most upvoted, controversial, and brutally honest comments from this whirlwind story. U/TruthHurts 247. Cheating with your own brother's wife? That's not just betrayal. That's character assassination. Caleb doesn't just deserve to be cut off. He should be ashamed to show his face at any family event ever again. 14.2 K 2.1 K. Dang, Reddit's not pulling punches today. And honestly, hard to argue with this one. Heartbreak, Hotel 21. Ellie didn't just cheat. She detonated a nuclear bomb right in the middle of two families. That's not love. That's selfishness dressed up in hormones and bad timing. 11.8 K 1.5 K. That comment came in hot. And judging by the likes, the crowd loved it. U/second chances are real. Unpopular opinion. I actually kind of get it. Emotional neglect is a slow killer in relationships. If Daniel was absent for years, then maybe Caleb felt like the only one actually seeing Ellie. 5.9 K, 3.3 K. Okay. Now this stirred the pot, and Reddit definitely showed up in the replies for a debate. What destroyed me wasn't the affair. It was the quiet way Daniel walked away. No rage, no revenge, just heartbreak. Sometimes silence is the loudest scream. 12.2 K, chance at 2.4 K. Okay, who's cutting onions? This one hit everyone in the feels. Whew, Reddit never disappoints. From rage to empathy, from justice to heartbreak. Every comment adds another layer to this already messy story. But now, it's your turn. Do you side with Daniel? Can you understand Ellie? Or is Caleb beyond redemption? Let us know in the comments below, because here, every opinion adds fuel to the fire. She left me for a phase. Then, blamed me for everything. Office romance gone wrong. Welcome back, everyone, to another explosive story straight from the depths of Reddit. A love story that divided thousands, sparked endless arguments, and left the entire comment section burning. At first glance, it looked like a normal relationship. Sweet, romantic, and full of hope. But hidden behind all the I love yous and the weekend dates was a secret. A twisted, shocking truth that turned everything upside down. Today's story is about a guy who loved deeply, who trusted with all his heart, only to discover that his girlfriend wasn't just cheating on him. She had planned it. Every move, every word, every lie. This wasn't just betrayal. This was a setup. And the mastermind? The very woman he thought he was going to marry. Have you ever loved someone so much that you ignored every red flag? Have you ever trusted someone so blindly, only to be left in the dark, broken, questioning everything? If you have, this story might hit too close to home. And if you haven't, it might just make you question every relationship you've ever had. In this video, we're diving deep into a love story that turns into a full-blown psychological game. From shady messages and nervous glances to a bombshell birthday party where the truth comes crashing down. And just wait until you meet the supporting character who isn't just a side note, but the spark that ignites the whole disaster. Get ready, because this one will make you think twice before saying, I love you. His name is Ryan, 25 years old, software engineer, smart, loyal, a bit of an introvert. He'd been dating Mia for almost 3 years. Everyone said they were perfect together. The kind of couple people used as relationship goals. on Instagram. They met at a friend's house party. Mia had spilled wine on his shirt and awkwardly tried to clean it up. Ryan laughed it off. She smiled. That was it. From that moment, they were inseparable. Ryan thought he found the one. Mia was beautiful, spontaneous, and confident. She knew how to make him feel important and how to keep his attention. But as their relationship matured, things started to shift. It began with small things, late replies to texts, nights out without explanation. A random guy friend named Josh suddenly becoming part of her stories. Ryan, being the trusting boyfriend, didn't push. He respected her space. But one night, everything snapped. It was Ryan's birthday. He planned a quiet dinner, just the two of them. He bought her favorite wine, made reservations at her favorite restaurant. She said she couldn't make it. "Work emergency," she claimed. Ryan felt a pang in his chest, but he brushed it off. "She's busy. It's fine," he told himself. Later that night, his best friend Josh texted him. "Hey, are you okay?" Ryan replied, "Yeah. Why?" Josh sent a photo. It was Mia, at a rooftop party, wearing the dress Ryan bought her, laughing, drinking, and sitting on another guy's lap. That moment shattered everything. Ryan didn't scream. He didn't even cry. He just stared at the screen. Frozen. Number. The next day, he confronted her. "Why did you lie to me?" Mia didn't deny it. She didn't even seem sorry. "You were getting boring, Ryan," she said. "You're too soft, too predictable." She smiled, like it was nothing. Like 3 years of love and memories meant absolutely zero. She told him she had been talking to the other guy, Lucas, for months. And get this, that party on Ryan's birthday? It was her unofficial soft launch with Lucas. She had planned it. She had timed it. And she didn't even feel bad. He asked her, "So was everything we had a lie?" Her reply, "It wasn't a lie. It was just a phase." A phase? 3 years? Thrown away? Labeled a phase? Ryan walked out that night. No closure. No final kiss. No revenge. Just silence. But Reddit? Oh, Reddit had a lot to say about this one. This story hits like a punch to the chest. And not because it's rare, but because it's painfully common. Let's talk about what actually happened here. Not just the betrayal, but the pattern behind it. 3 years of trust. 3 years of memories. And in the end, it was dismissed as a phase. Let's break that down. "You were getting boring, Ryan." Translation? "You didn't entertain me enough anymore." But relationships aren't built on constant excitement. They're built on consistency, on safety, on respect. And the moment someone starts seeing stability as boring, that's the moment the relationship begins to rot from the inside. Was Ryan perfect? Probably not. But that's not the point. He showed up. He planned a birthday dinner. He believed in the relationship. And Mia? She soft-launched her new guy. On his birthday. If that isn't cold, I don't know what is. And let's talk about that phrase. It wasn't a lie. It was just a phase. A phase. So his love, his loyalty, his time was just some fleeting chapter in your story? That line wasn't just disrespectful. It was cruel. Here's the real issue. People treat relationships like content. As soon as the storyline gets too slow, they look for the next thrill. No communication, no effort, just swipe, switch, and move on. But that's not love. That's selfishness, dressed up as freedom. What Ryan went through wasn't just heartbreak. It was erasure. It's one thing to lose someone. It's another thing to realize you were never valued in the first place. And yet, he didn't scream. He didn't beg. He walked away with dignity. And sometimes, That's the loudest thing you can do. Now I want to hear from you. Was Mia just being honest about falling out of love? Or was she heartless? Do you think Ryan should have fought for her? Or was walking away the only choice? Because in this story, the betrayal wasn't just cheating. It was the realization that some people don't love you. They love how you make them feel. And when that feeling fades, so do they. All right, Reddit did not hold back on this one. And honestly, I'm glad they didn't. Because what happened to Ryan deserved real talk, not sugarcoating. Let's dive into the top comments that got the most heat. Comment number 1. She didn't fall out of love. She just wanted someone else. Calling it a phase is her way of avoiding guilt. Classic coward move. 14.2 K likes. 1.9 K replies, "This one hit the nail on the head." Calling it a phase is the emotional equivalent of ghosting someone, but in person. She didn't want accountability. She wanted escape. Comment number 2. You dodged a bullet, Ryan. Imagine being married to someone who checks out the moment things get boring. You deserve way better. 11.6 K likes. Seedroof, 1.2 K replies, "Facts. Relationships aren't movie trailers. They're not always adrenaline and sparkles. If she dipped when things got real, then yeah, he dodged a long-term disaster." Comment number 3. This is why men stop planning surprises or trying in relationships. When you give your all and still get blindsided, it breaks something inside. 9.3 K likes. 2K replies, "This one hurts." Because it's not just about Ryan. It's about the pattern. The emotional toll of giving everything and still ending up the villain in someone else's rewrite of the story. Comment number 4. She soft-launched a new guy on his birthday. I don't care what her excuse was. That's cold, calculated, and beyond disrespectful. 8.7 K likes. 1.1 K replies, "Chills. Absolute chills. That birthday detail? That wasn't just careless. That was a statement, and not a kind one." Comment number 5. Mia's the type to call you controlling for asking basic respect. Let her go ruin someone else's peace, bro. 6.8 K likes, 900 replies. Oof. Savage. But where's the lie? People like that don't want partners. They want fans. And the second you stop clapping, they look for another stage. These comments? They're not just venting, they're reflections. Because Ryan's story isn't just his own, it echoes through so many people who loved deeply, got used, and then discarded like background music. But here's what I'll say. To anyone out there who's been through a phase like this, you weren't the problem. You were just too real for someone addicted to the fake. Drop your thoughts below. Was Mia just being honest or selfish beyond repair? And most importantly, what would you have done if you were in Ryan's shoes? Dumped after 3 years. She's with just a friend. 2 weeks later. Reddit Aita. And then one day, they break up with you. Calmly, gently, with all the right reasons. You don't scream. You don't beg. You tell yourself it's mutual, mature, the grown-up thing to do. But just 2 weeks later, you see them smiling in a photo. With someone else. Someone who isn't a stranger. No, it's that friend. The one they always said, "He's just a friend. You don't have to worry about him." In today's story, we head to Seattle, where one man finds himself caught between heartbreak, suspicion, and a haunting question. Did my relationship really end when she said it did? Or was I already being replaced long before? This post comes from the popular Reddit community Am I the Asshole, where people share their messy, emotional, and sometimes outrageous real-life stories, all to ask one simple question. Am I the asshole? So sit back, listen closely, and ask yourself, if this happened to you, would you stay silent or speak your truth? Let's dive in. So here's the story, straight from Reddit, posted by a user under the name YouLostAndConfused_28. I, 28M, recently broke up with my girlfriend Claire, 26F, after almost 3 years of dating. We lived together in Seattle, built a life together. Or, at least I thought we did. Claire was the one who initiated the breakup. She said things like, "I feel like we're growing apart," and "I need time to focus on myself." It was emotional, but civil. There were no screaming matches, no betrayal, or so I believed. I didn't beg her to stay. I wanted to respect her choice. We hugged goodbye, and that was it. It hurt, of course, but I told myself, this is what healthy adults do. But here's where it starts to get messy. 2 weeks after our breakup, I was scrolling through Instagram, something I probably shouldn't have done, and I saw Claire posting pictures with a guy named Josh. Josh wasn't a stranger. He used to work with her back when she did freelance projects in Portland. I remember her talking about him, and every time it came with the classic disclaimer, "Don't worry, he's just a friend." Well, now they were holding hands in pictures, hugging, smiling in that new couple glow kind of way. At first I told myself, maybe they just reconnected after the breakup. But the timeline didn't sit right. Something felt off. Then I noticed something in the comments. A mutual friend had commented, "Finally," with a heart emoji. Another one wrote, "Took you too long enough." Wait, what do they mean, finally? That word hit him like a punch in the gut. Finally didn't sound like a new thing. It sounded like something that had been waiting to happen, quietly, secretly, while he was still very much in the picture. "I texted Claire," he wrote. "I asked her, point blank, 'Did something start between you and Josh before we broke up?' She replied with, 'Josh was there for me when you weren't. Maybe if you had paid more attention, you'd still be in the picture.' No denial, no explanation. Just a slap in the face, dressed as a sentence. She said I was being immature and needed to let go. That she didn't cheat, technically, and I should grow up. Now, let's pause for a second. Imagine you're in his shoes. You trust someone. You let them go respectfully. And just 2 weeks later, they're posting selfies with the one guy you were always a little suspicious of. You feel betrayed, but you're also told your feelings don't matter. That you're the problem, for even asking. I talked to a few friends about it, he says. Some told me to just move on, that it's not worth the drama. Others said I had every right to feel upset. Now, I can't tell if I'm being too emotional, or if I'm justified in feeling like I was blindsided. And that's where he ended his post, with one question for Reddit. Am I the asshole? Now let's break this down. Not just as internet strangers judging a Reddit post, but as human beings who've probably been through something kind of similar. Because, let's be honest, breakups are rarely clean. They're messy, emotional, full of silent assumptions, half-truths, and blurred timelines. And sometimes, you don't even realize how deep the wound is until you see the person who left you smiling with someone else. In this case, Claire didn't technically cheat. She waited until after the breakup to go public with Josh. On paper, she played by the rules. But emotionally, the betrayal was already in motion. Let's rewind to that one little sentence she sent him. "Josh was there for me when you weren't." That one line says everything. It says Josh wasn't new. It says he was her emotional fallback, her plan B, maybe even her plan A, waiting in the wings while OP was still committed to the relationship. And let's talk about the timeline here. 2 weeks is barely enough time to process a breakup, let alone enter a new relationship with matching smiles and vacation selfies. That's not moving on. That's moving over. Now, some might say, hey, relationships end. People have the right to be happy. True, but the how matters. It's not about possession. It's about respect. Ending a 3-year relationship with someone and then jumping into the arms of a guy he was always a little uncomfortable with. That's not just shady. It's cruelly timed. And let's not forget the comments from friends saying, finally, and took you too long enough. Those aren't things people say about a brand new couple. Those are things people say when they've seen the connection brewing long before the public announcement. So, let's be real here. Claire may not have cheated physically, but emotionally? She was already gone. And what's worse, she flipped it back on him, made him feel like the villain, the immature one, the one who couldn't move on. That's called gaslighting, folks. It's when someone hurts you and then makes you feel bad for noticing. So, is OP the asshole? He's just a guy trying to make sense of the silence that followed his breakup, and the noise that exploded 2 weeks later. He's not bitter. He's confused. And he has every right to be. And of course, Reddit had a lot to say about this one. I picked out some of the most upvoted, most savage, and also the most thoughtful comments that really capture what the community felt. UU Reality Check 89, 14.2K upvotes. If someone tells you, he's just a friend, and then dates him 2 weeks after dumping you, congratulations. You've just met the emotional affair starter pack. 3.8K people liked this comment. That's not subtle. That's everyone else knowing something the OP didn't. You throw away tea time 9.7K upvotes. Claire didn't cheat, but she soft-launched her next relationship while still in the old one. That's emotional betrayal 101. Top reply from u/blunt, but true. OP didn't lose a girlfriend. He dodged a manipulator. U/empathy queen 6.5K upvotes. Let's not gaslight OP. He's not bitter. He's processing. Claire didn't even try to reassure him. She blamed him. That's cruel. 1.2K people reacted with, this. It's wild how society tells men not to feel anything, then calls them dramatic when they do. UU Logical Larry 8.1K upvotes. 2 weeks is not enough time to build what she posted. It was already happening behind the scenes. If this were reversed, and OP was the one dating someone he told her not to worry about, Reddit would roast him alive. Highly upvoted. 400+ awards. U Spicy Cactus 7.3K upvotes. This story is why so many people have trust issues. Not because of cheating, but because of lies dressed up as friendship. OP, if you're reading this, you're not crazy. You just saw the truth too late. So there you have it. A breakup, a friend, and a truth that came out just a little too perfectly timed. Was it cheating? Maybe not, technically. But was it shady? Absolutely. And if Reddit agrees on one thing, it's this. It's not about being possessive. It's about being honest. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And hey, don't forget to like and follow if you want more real stories from the internet's messiest corners.